Hey, I'm Vlad with Globmarble, and I'm going to teach you how to make a flake system floor, which is great because it's virtually indestructible. You will not see any damage on this floor whatsoever. We're going to use our epoxy, and we're going to use some Polyaspartic Topcoat, which is a very, very tough coating. Don't forget to pigment your epoxy with any type of color that's going to match your flakes. While working with epoxy, it's really important to make sure that your floor is completely level. You can do this with either a floor grinder or with self-leveling concrete. Another really important thing is to make sure that there's no moisture stuck inside of your floor, because water has to evaporate somehow. It'll pop up, make bubbles in your epoxy, and ruin your whole floor. An easy way of checking for moisture is by taping off a 2 feet by 2 feet sheet of plastic on your floor, coming back the next day, and if there are any water bubbles under the plastic, your concrete is retaining moisture. After we mix 1 part B and 2 parts A of our epoxy, along with our pigment, we're going to squeegee it across the floor evenly, and then we're going to back roll it with an epoxy glide roller, which is made specifically for sticky things like epoxy. Before we do that, we're going to roll it onto some blue painter's tape to get rid of any loose fibers. Now we take our flakes and do a chicken feeding motion, where we take them into our hand, toss them up into the air, and let them fall down by themselves. Do this until you have an even spread. Make sure to look for wet spots like this one right here. If you see one, cover them with more flakes. It's really important to use spike shoes while working with epoxy, because not only do they protect your pattern while you're walking on it, but they also give slip resistance. And once everything dries, we can vacuum up the excess flakes and use it for later. You could also use a trowel to get rid of some of the sharp vertical flakes that are sticking up. This isn't necessary though. Now we're going to mix our polyaspartic and roll it with an epoxy glide. You could use a squeegee for larger areas also. You could roll 2 coats, but for this case, I'm only going to roll 1. So the top coat cured, and I really like the way that it turned out. A good thing about this floor is that it has a really, really good grip, so it's really hard to slip on this thing. Comment down below what colors you would have used, and don't forget to like and subscribe.